guys, what's up and welcome back to my channel. If this is you guys' first time here, my name is Shalia and today I'm sharing with you guys this full glam look that I'm like literally so obsessed about. I literally cannot stop smiling because I'm so in love with how it came out. I love looks like this for going out for the night, whether it's with your man, with your girls, with your guy, whoever, literally with your friends. I just literally love looks like this. So if you guys want to see how I created this look, definitely just keep watching. But before you guys do that, don't forget, scroll down, click the subscribe button. Of course, click the bell so you guys get notified. I post a new video every single week, whether it be beauty, fashion, lifestyle, vlogs, all of the above. You can find it right here with me. Let's just jump right into the video. I'm actually just so excited. I don't even know what I want this intro to be today because I'm all over the place because I'm that excited. So let's go. Alright guys, so I went ahead and I did my brows and I set my lids with my concealer. I just used my Too Faced concealer just to get us started, just because of the way the look is. I didn't want a base that was too bright, but obviously we do still want to use a base to get started, so that's what I used. So now I'm just taking a pencil brush and I'm picking up this is the 24 Hour Super Brow by KVD. Yeah, KVD Beauty. I'm like, why did my brain stop working? In the shade Dark Brown. And I'm just going to use this to sort of set where I want to start that darkest brown that's going to go on my lids. And we're going to do that sort of like in a eyeliner shape. And I just like to use like soft patting motions just to put that on there. And this does not have to be perfect at all. So I'm bringing it like about halfway into my eyelid. And then not winging it, but like bringing it in an angle outward. And then I am using a towel to just pull off any excess product. And I'm just gonna buff out the edges. Then obviously same thing on the other side. Alright guys, so now that that's done, I'm taking another pencil brush and I'm going into my Carnival palette. I love this palette so much. This is the Carnival Antidote palette, the fourth one, in the fourth installment. And where is it? I'm picking up this shade right here, Chestnut, and I'm still using a pencil brush. This one is slightly bigger though. And then I'm gonna just go right on top of that base that we put down a second ago to really lock it and seal it in, and then just diffusing the edges again, just keeping the outer edges really soft. And the only way to do that is making sure you don't have as much product on your brush when you get to the outer edges. Alright, so now I'm picking up a detail blending brush and I'm going into, where is it? I just lost it. There we go. We're going to that shade right there, Cinnamon. And I'm going to tap off my excess just a little. And then on the edges of that we sort of diffuse, we're going to lightly tap this in. So I like to start in the outer corner and work my way in. Just sort of like doing the outline of the shade that we originally just put down. I do everything in like really soft tapping, sweeping motions. It just helps me like with placement and not making anything too messy or too muddy. Alright, so now I'm taking my favorite blending brush of all time. This is the Zoeva 227, and we're gonna go into, we're gonna go into this shade. Oh, I lost it again. Oh, here it is, right here, Buff. And once again, starting in the outer corner, I'm just gonna very lightly blend this in with Cinnamon and pull it outward. And then still do the same thing as I keep going inward, keeping all the shades sort of overlapping each other. And then like still pulling out. And then I take whatever's left and I just pat it in my inner corner. I don't add, I'm not gonna say ever, obviously for this look I'm not, but I don't add any extra product here. Just use whatever is left to sort of set the base in the inner corner. Make sure you like just rub out it or diffuse any creases that you have. So now is sort of when I go back in and I detail anything that I've done already. So I'm going to like just lightly dust off that same 227 and I'm gonna go back into Cinnamon. That was the second shade that we used. And I'm gonna add it just to deepen the intensity. So just tap it in. And the reason I don't go back to the same brush I was using before is because I want to soften the look. I don't want to make it too intense. So if I go back in with a too tightly detailed brush, it packs the product in one space instead of diffusing it. And then this is like, I'm just bouncing back and forth between cinnamon and buff until I have like the look that I'm going for. Alright, so I've sort of landed myself here. Still really soft, really subtle. But I'm going to go back in and this time I'm going to pick up another blending brush. But I'm using a smaller one than the 227. So I'm going to use my MAC 217. Okay, I don't see that, but I do see my Morphe M433. So the 227 is a little bit more fanned outward, where the 433 is not. So it helps me just keep the product placement a little bit better, but still blending it and keeping it soft. So now I'm going back into Chestnut, which is the first shade that we use, picking up a decent amount of product, and then once again going over it and tapping the color back in just to intensify it. And then at the last minute, I'm gonna add in this shade right here, Pecan, using my same M433. And just in between Cinnamon and Chestnut, that is where I'm gonna add Pecan. It adds like that hint of burgundy that was really missing before. And I didn't want to add this before because I didn't want the look to be red. I wanted to have hints of red or like plum. I don't know why I said red, but like that burgundy-ish plumish color. So that's why I'm doing it like this, or I added it in later. And you guys will see like what you need. Like if you feel like I added too much of this or I didn't add enough of this, like yada yada yada, you can go back in with your specific brushes in each color and add the colors back in. Alright, so now I'm taking an eyeshadow topper. This one's from Natasha Denona in the shade, crap, I'm gonna have to find the shade and I'll send it to you guys. I'll put it in the description bar. Of course I cannot read it, it's like so scratched off at this point. It's like it's called a crystal coat topper. I just don't remember the shade. Picking some of this up on a flat brush, and then starting in the inner corner and going outward, I'm just adding some shimmer here. Thing here. And obviously, like if you guys don't have a topper, that's fine. You can get the same effect with the right pressed shimmer shadow. Sorry, I was like, or like a wet style highlighter has the same like effect. And I have these like weird little like hump things, so sometimes like it looks a little weird, like the shadow is like at an angle, but like once I put my lashes on and stuff like that, it tends to balance itself out. So looks a little weird right now, but fear not, friends. Alright, so I'm gonna just go ahead and like pin these. Where are my hair clips? Literally gonna just take my little things here and pin them back really quick so I'm not getting makeup all over my hair. So I've switched up how I do my base, and the reason for that is because I somehow got sucked into TikTok hacks for my base makeup, and I'm like, that shit's never gonna work. I don't believe it, but sure enough, it does. So I'm low-key feeling some type of way about it, because now I'm like, oh fuck, how many TikTok tags? Wow. How many TikTok hacks do I have to try out now? I don't know. So here we go. So the first thing is white concealer. So I'm literally using 3 concealers now for my base, which is kind of wild, but I'm loving the way it's been looking. So if it works, it works. I don't see the problem. So I'm gonna take my Too Faced Born This Way concealer. This is my shade. Oh no, that's not my right shade. Fuck. Here it is. Found it. My shade is Butterscotch, and it's very similar to my skin, to be honest with you. So it's not that brightening, but that's why I'm using the other ones. So for my chin here, I'm going in with Butterscotch. Also right down my nose, my forehead, and then my upper lip right here. Then I'm taking my white one. This is the Morphe Fluidity concealer, I think is what it's called, and just clearly the whitest shade in the bunch, literally. And I'm just gonna go ahead and it's on the side of my nose. Why my lighting gets so weird? What happened there? Am I tripping? Maybe I'm tripping. And again, like right here in the outer, but like I don't put that much in the outers. So then I'm going back in with Butterscotch right here in the center, like just the way I would literally normally conceal. FYI, like in case anybody's wondering, I use this much concealer because I don't use foundation like underneath. Like I don't cover my whole face with foundation. It's a lot more product than I personally find necessary for my skin. And I also find that when I want my makeup to be more long wearing, having that much product is just not good. So, or at least like for me, it's just what works for me. So now I'm taking the another Morphe Fluidity concealer in the shade C2.25, and this one goes right here. To sort of turn up my mouth. So I'm actually gonna let all of this sit just so I can get fuller coverage with all of it, and then we're gonna blend it out, and I'll let you guys obviously like see the result, because right now we looking crazy. Okay, crazy. Okay, so we're gonna start with the chin and the forehead and the nose. We're gonna save the areas where there's white concealer for last, because you don't want to pull that all over the rest of your face, like anywhere where you don't really actually want it. So it is force of habit for me to start with my chin here, and then I go up to my forehead. Straight down my nose. See, that's what we don't want right there. It's okay, I'm gonna fix it. Okay, we'll fix it, no worries. Okay, so then we're gonna do right here the outer corners of the lips. And with this part, you want to be sure to be blending down and not blending up, otherwise you're going to pull the concealer up. Okay, now that that's done, you can already see how much it's like lifted my face structure. So I'm going to do my lip, or above my lip. And now that all of that's done, now we're going to go in and we're going to do where the white is. So I like to start in the outer. And lastly, bringing myself in because that's where the bulk of the white concealer is. Okay, so obviously it looks wild. Don't worry guys, I got you. So now I'm gonna pull whatever's left over my nose, doing my best to leave that very center, like, you know, left alone. And then I'm gonna take my clean side of my beauty blender and I'm just gonna go over it just to help diffuse the lines. Super brightening. Me gusta. So just like before I changed anything, I'm gonna add my foundation now. This is my Too Faced foundation in the shade Chestnut, and I just pick it up on a Peaches foundation brush, PC08, and I just fill in all the gaps. So I am not like super shy about going over the concealer in this portion just a little bit, because it will still peek through because we went lighter, because like the shade is so light. So I very lightly go over it just a little bit. Like I don't go straight in, it's whatever's left over on my brush is what goes there. Then I take the bottom side again and I diffuse out any harsh lines that I don't like the way they look. Don't forget your ears. Just a little. Alright, so we're gonna start setting all of this. And I use two different setting powders. This is my H&B Cosmetics loose setting powder. I think it's like soft focus loose setting powder in the shade Banana. Then I use my Anastasia Beverly Hills loose setting powder in the shade Deep Peach. So I take Banana and I set right in the corners of my eye. And then I go down the sides of my nose the same as I always would before. Try to get these as straight as possible. Alright, and then I take Banana as well. And it goes right here. For now. So before I set the rest of my face, I'm gonna go ahead and bronze. So I'm just gonna take some of my bronzer. This is just a fluffy powder brush here. And some on my forehead here. Now I'm gonna take the shade Banana, the shade Deep Peach from ABH, and that's what I'm gonna set the rest of my face. So I'm gonna push that in the center of my forehead. Not really big here. And right here as well. And then the rest I'm gonna pull out here. And just because this is a bit darker than the Banana shade, I don't want everything to be too bright. Then right above my lip. And then, like I said, I don't leave the rest of this very long. Just go ahead and push it right in. Okay, and then we're gonna just also dust this way. I'm just taking a contour brush or small detail brush, whatever you guys want to call it, I don't know. And I'm picking up some of my contour shade, and I'm gonna just go right down my nose a little. Alright guys, so I'm going to just go ahead and jump off camera really quickly. I'm going to fill in my brows, and then I'll be back to sort of show you guys how I'm going to cool all my face down. So yeah, alright guys, so I did my brows and I popped a lash on. These are my Tahiti lashes from Be Perfect Cosmetics. So now to cool down the powderiness of my face, I'm going to go ahead and take my Natasha the Dewy Mist, and I am going to spray all over my beauty blender. So we're gonna just like give it a good one, you know? And then I'm gonna just go ahead and pat it all over. So cool all that down a little bit. Of course, we're gonna add some blush. So I'm taking my blush trio from Anastasia Beverly Hills, and I'm literally gonna go through all 3 shades. And just lightly, I like to like tap my blush first, like sort of like my eyeshadow, and then diffuse out those edges. Like so, and then I do put a little bit on my nose, my chin, just to give it some color. And I'm gonna add some highlighter today. But first, taking a flat brush, I'm going to pick up a little of my highlighter. This is my Be Perfect Cosmetics Get Wet Highlighter in the shade Do You. And I'm going to just pop some in my inner corner, pulling it down just a little bit to my under eye. Like that. And then just pop a little bit on my cheeks, and then of course on the tip and down the bridge of my nose, and then I like to just go over it with my finger a little. And of course, obviously, we need a lip. So this is a lip pencil from Makeup Forever in the shade Universal Earth. I like to just fill in my lips with liner before I go in with the color. And then this is my Jaclyn Cosmetics lipstick in the shade I'm a Cancer. So this is a gloss by a brand called the Lab, shade number 4. I literally love this gloss. Like, obsessed. Literally obsessed. Alright, I'm gonna put my hair down and zoom you guys out, and I'll be right back in a sec. Alright guys, this is the finished look. I am like so obsessed. I'm like gagging. Literally so in love with this. Yeah, I hope you guys liked it. I hope you guys try out some of the things that I did in the video. And like honestly, I'm like so obsessed with so many of these like TikTok hacks, just a bunch of like different things that I never would have thought to really try in the past, that I just feel like have like changed my makeup game so much. And it's definitely not for everybody, and it's definitely not for like everyday like looks, but like when you want like a full glam moment, like do them. They're like your best friend, okay? So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you guys all in my very next one. So obviously, like I said in the beginning, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and of course click the bell so you guys get notified when I post. So yeah. Alright guys, I'm getting out of here. It's been a pleasure as always. I love you guys.